Okay, there are a lot of hamsters spinning here, so I have no idea how this is working. Or it might not work, who knows? Okay, says I'm live, says things are excellent. I have no idea if or when people are wandering in. Okay, Dresden was here 10 minutes ago. Okay, cool. No one was chatting. I didn't know. Right, before I actually begin like cutting and clipping and all that, someone's gotta help me out here because we got a lot more things going on than usual. I've got 2 webcams going instead of a game feed. I've got my microphone, which I don't know how loud I am, if I need to turn it up or not. I've got music playing in the background because a lot of this is just going to be watching me like clip and trim and put things together. So I figure chill music. I have no idea how all of those elements are coming together right now. So someone's got to help me out. Yeah, I tried to go through the royalty-free stuff I have, and it's like, what long songs do I have that make nice, calm, ambient noise? Just to kind of chill things out. Nerd, yeah, nerd. Absolutely nerd. Yeah, I did a few test recordings beforehand. I felt a little bit... It felt a little bit quiet, but I don't know how much more I can turn it up. I can... turn up a couple notches on a few things. But not... I don't want to go too far. Yes, it's a TJ! Trying something different for a change. So I actually do have actual Twitch followers. I don't know how long it'll take for notifications to go through and for everyone to pick up. I don't know exactly how long we should be waiting before we begin. I'm just kind of hanging out. You know, this is just kind of a relaxed, like, last minute decided to do it thing. Good taste in X-Acto knife styles. That is the one I had on hand. That's the style I have. But yeah, like, I figured if a blade's this sharp, I actually want to be able to hold it and hold on to it for a while. You know, not like pencil thin. I actually want to be able to keep a grip on it. God, from Hercules Week. That was a long time ago. Yeah, this will probably go... This will auto-upload to YouTube later. Like, I've got that integrated into Twitch where it'll just, like, dump it onto my channel as soon as this is done. I don't know if... I don't know if this is going to be a complete models kit building. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I don't know how long it's going to take because I've never built this particular model before. Hello, Ojunix. Hello, Tigers. You can't get bits off TJ. This is rigged. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a partner. I don't know how to set up bits. I don't know how to do any of that. Yeah, this is pretty, for me, pretty experimental. I've barely ever streamed on Twitch before. It's always been on YouTube. And this is the first time I'm doing something that has nothing to do with a video game. This is just gonna hang out and chill. Pretty straightforward, like the other kits I did for Classic and Zero. That doesn't help me. I didn't get either of them. Oh, actually no. What? Scratch that. I'm thinking of the wrong. Classic. Yeah, I do have the lineup. Actually, I can see them from here. They're like right behind my microphone, with the Kotobukiya, Megaman, Protoman, and Roll. Okay. Yeah, Ojunix, I'm praying. I'm praying for a Mega Man X game. We got Mega Man 11, and it apparently did well. They apparently hinted something that they might be working on X. I can only hope. Surprisingly large number of people who stream model kit building on Twitch. Yeah, because it's just kind of a nice, chill, relaxing thing. You know, there's a lot of little satisfactions to just like watching someone slowly construct Mega Man X10. Oh, so we're skipping Mega Man X9 because they only made it to 8. Yeah, drama-free zone. This is like model kit streams are like super laid back in the first place, so I figure, okay, you know, the world's a mess right now. Let's not bring any of it up. Let's just sit, hang out, enjoy some toy, and just hang out together for a while. You know, nice and relaxed, nice, peaceful. I want this to be like a little bit zen. A little bit of a zen escapism thing going on. Yeah, it's a pretty basic overlay, but it's kind of the same overlay style I normally go with. Like, I would love to have the whole bells and whistles, you know, some little animation effect, or like pop-ups and like people follow and all that. I do see a lot of new followers. Assume some from Discord, a few from Twitter. And Optimus Built might have the same headphones as me. Yeah, these are not terribly expensive wireless headphones, but they work really well, so I can't really complain. Alright, let me see how Twitter is going. Let's see. I used to have a video that I would throw up on YouTube to let people there know that I was streaming, but since this is kind of like since this is kind of an experimental thing, I think I'm just gonna keep it like whoever wanders in. I think that's nice. Early days of the head-worn mic on YouTube. Yeah, because all I had was a webcam. Like, I didn't have a camcorder or any kind of dedicated microphone, so like it was a better quality microphone than what the webcam was picking up. Let's see. Okay, there's only 18 people in here, but I'm not really terribly concerned about how many viewers come in. We'll see if it works, and then we'll worry about advertising it and making a big deal out of it. So if people wander in, they wander in. See, yeah, Mega Man 11 was fantastic. Like, it was a really good throwback. I think they did a really good job of creating like the new gameplay and then balancing it with like the classic style and the classic level of difficulty. Like, it felt good, you know, and slight brag. It's not a brag. It's just like I kind of called it. I thought for years the way to freshen up Mega Man's look was to go from like color change to like slight physical changes when he equips a weapon, because you know just the thing. Because Mega Man can only have so many color shifts before you start forgetting what color is what weapon, or they duplicate too many. It's good. It was a good change to actually give some physical definition to the weapons. Have you finished any of your Gundams yet? Unfortunately, no. That's one reason why I'm hoping people like these kit streams. That's why I'm hoping that people kind of pick up on this, because I would love to do something like this regularly, because I've got a ton of model kits built up that I need to get around to, including those. The X Max armor design, I have it sitting over on the review stage right now. Not built. This I got for Christmas, and then I bought myself the Max armor. And I'm debating getting the gold version of the Max armor too, because I love that they went with a design that wasn't just the standard X1 armor or the Ultimate armor. I'm glad they went to some other direction, because, you know, it sucks as a Mega Man fan because all the merch just kind of leans toward the first games of each series, and it's really hard to get outside of that, you know? Like, they never did Figuarts Axel, for instance. You know, certainly we've never gotten any kind of, say, Mavericks. There's extremely cool Maverick designs. I'm never going to get a toy of Storm Eagle, as much as I want that. It's just how it goes. You know, and for the classic Mega Man stuff, some of my favorites like Metal Man, Top Man. No, I think Metal Man's getting something. I think he's getting like a statuette or something. But like, it's always the original 6 bosses. So I always hope that Mega Man toy lines like this pick up, because I want them to do as many as possible. Did Kotobukiya confirm Maverick model kits? Because I would lose my mind. I would literally lose my mind. I didn't see anything about that, and I would think that any kind of Mega Man toy that would come up across a news feed would immediately hit my eyes. And yeah, Japan still has this aversion to villain toys, so that's true too. But like, even American toy lines do it, you know? You know, like Funko got a hold of it, and there were action vinyls from Mega Man, and they danced around a little bit. They did a skull. I think they did a Skull Man. And like Funko did all their like pint-sized hero figurines, and that stuck to just original characters, main characters. They didn't really venture out. Yeah, there's 2 versions of Max armor. There's the standard, and then there's the hyper chip, because the hyper chip was the hidden armor in that game. Yeah, the Mavericks were pretty big, so that makes it tricky. But you know what? If there's an audience, they'll do it. Like, I've got a Broly model kit sitting around. He's gigantic. You know, same toy line has Krillin and Broly. Okay, so hope everyone's doing well. It's about 9 o'clock, so we're probably gonna get started here. I'm gonna warn everybody. This house is prone to interruption, so I don't know exactly what kind of noises are gonna come through. I don't know when I'm gonna have to get up and do something else. I apologize if I have to. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. But for now, we're gonna try and have a little bit of fun with this, and actually just kind of chill and hang out for a while. I want this kind of be like Bob Ross levels of, you know? Except Bob Ross could actually do this in like 30 minutes, whereas this might take me a little bit, and I don't even know if it'll be within the same session. If I don't finish it, if I have to stop, then I'm not gonna like open up another stream to finish it. I'm probably just gonna finish the rest of it tonight. But yeah. What would have been nice if I organized the sprues beforehand. I need to find his helmet, which is over here. Look at this. Okay, so this is the thing that I didn't point out. How many runners? Let's build a happy little Reploid. Yeah, so, alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 runners. And I'm not going to do the effect parts. I think just for the sake of brevity, we're going to stick to just the basics. I'm just going to get the figure together. Now, here's the thing I didn't really mention because I only get so much space to mention these things. The version I am using is the charge shot version, which means the plastic has this this really deep sheen to it and a prismatic effect, which is just absolutely beautiful in person. It's designed to mimic the flashing his armor does when he's charging up a big shot. That's why I got the kit, because I've got Megaman. I've got Megaman X's of every size I could possibly want, but this looked special, so this is the one I was after. Alright. Alright, so I'll get back in. Let's see. Oh, more runners. There's still more runners. I forgot even the polycaps. Which polycaps I hate, but it's a necessary evil. Alright. I will form the head, because that's what it's telling me to do. L. Which one is L? L is the one in my hand. Awesome. We're off to a good start. It's a nice zen music. Like, I'm usually like playing YouTube videos or something when I'm building a model kit, but like I kind of like just like the zen stuff. It is going to change. It's not like a 3-hour music track or anything. Each one of these tracks I picked is like 30 minutes long, so we got a variety going. I don't know how many we'll hear tonight, but okay. This is the helmet, so let's see if I can't clean him up a little bit. I'm also gonna have to practice keeping all this in frame because I'm so used to like pulling it up here and going. So I apologize if I let it come out of frame. Okay. Probably gonna get admonished by somebody for cutting toward me, but it's where I have the best control. I want to be extremely smooth about this. Speaking of extremely smooth, it's there we go. It's very slick. I don't know if that's the metallic coating that's on it or if it's just like that smooth of a part. There we go. It's a thin piece, so I'm trying to be really careful here. Okay, there we go. Nice and clean. Put that up and slide it there. Okay, A6J. Where is the J? That's L. It's L. I meant to get, like, they make a thing that actually lets you organize your sprues. It's like a rack that just like holds them up vertically and the lettering's on them and everything. So it's easy to keep track of. So I probably should have checked beforehand what all these actually were. Where's J? C, that's F, that's M, J somewhere. I know it is. He told me he was here. J! Yeah, this is the awkward part of the model kit building where it's like, why does this idiot just, like, figure all this out beforehand and then actually do it? So J number 2. So we need this. This is internal. Not terribly worried about cleanliness on this one. Take care not to mistakenly cut the parts. I probably should have read that before I cut the parts. No, I knew what was supposed to say there. All right. right. That's the back of the helmet. Don't roll. That wasn't a pun of Mega Man's sister, by the way. That's just... It's like... I don't know. There is something really odd about how this feels. Like, I can't really describe it. It's just like, for some reason, the plastic just feels like a lot slicker than most model kits that I normally build. Like, I'm not getting as good of a grip. Ooh. That makes it just a little bit strenuous. Okay, and yeah, I believe that's clean on each side. And what side? Oh, great. Fine muscle control. Please, work for me. Okay, there we go. Okay, and now L9. Back to the gray sprue. I realize now I'm paying attention to this and I'm not even looking up at the chat, so I have no idea what's going on now. In fact, I've never done this, so I don't know exactly how much talking I'm supposed to be doing. L9. Let's see, hang on. Oh, I see. Big indent in the center of his head for this one. And that combines with that piece and... Come on. Tight fit. Really tight fit. Except C9, C10. Yeah, I saw Captain Ginyu getting a figure art. The size of this man's hands. Yeah, X has some pretty big, he has some pretty big meat hooks on him. Actually, I find the biggest downside to polycaps is, like, the plastic can dry out and split, so you lose your friction. Alright, C9, C10. And snip. Do the same, trying to cut as close as I can. These aren't proper model nippers. This came from the crafts section of Walmart, but they do the job. I'm sure if I got like actual model kit clippers out of Japan, they'd just be like razor sharp and super smooth, but this is what I got, because those were... I saw them at conventions. They are outrageously expensive. I'm still not even sure, like as I work on this, I'm trying to figure out, is it like something they mix to the plastic to create that prismatic effect, or is it like a paint finish? But as I'm trimming this, I kind of notice, like, yeah, even under the part I trim, it's still there. It's like, just whatever they did to make it this shiny and shimmery, that's just buried in the plastic. It's probably why it's so slick in my hands. Like I said, I should be paying attention to the chat, but hey, knife in hand. The only red I want you to see on this stream is these little translucent bits. I'm getting admonished for this, but I'm being very careful, being very deliberate here. Alright, so... Alright, that goes right. Should go right there. Again, the parts are very snug on this guy. Okay, that's starting to look like Mega Man X's helmet. The face is a separate part in a separate bag, so those will find their way in here in a little bit. Alright, back to C. Need 11. And again, I get this little warning. Don't cut this little nub. That's supposed to be there. I hope this takes. I hope people, like, dig what this eventually turns into. Like, I do kind of want this just to be, like, a nice little chill hangout thing. With as many model kits as I have, like, maybe once a week. Like, this might just be, like, maybe not Monday. Because Monday should be a random review day. I think once I get back into the groove, it'll be like a Monday, Thursday release schedule until my Patreon's high enough to make me do 3 a week again. Then back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thursdays I do Fortnite. Saturdays I also do Fortnite. That's at another Twitch page. And then I do my wrestling podcast on Sundays. So this will probably be a Tuesday night thing. Like I said, this is just kind of like the experimental first run. We're not too worried about numbers. We're not too worried about anything. We're just kind of hanging out. Which way does this go? Okay. And J3. I need the little crystal on his head. Which is this one. This is a tiny part to trim up, so hopefully, I think it's smooth enough. I wish I was like one of those really good builders, you know, how to like take out the seams in their kits and like make them completely clean looking. It's like that's the kind of builder where like they wouldn't be here with like an X-Acto knife just trying to trim it flat. They'd be here with like, you know, 2000 grit sandpaper, just like slowly taking the white off until it doesn't show anymore. You know, put like a little bit of heat to it so it melts down the trimmed white area. All right. Crystal in. Thankfully the white sections actually went underneath his little mohawk thing. Okay, so I gotta do, I think there's something with his sides. Yeah, so J4 of these. Okay, so we gotta do his little ears now. To L14. Gray ones. There's number 14. All right. J4. Again, these look like internal parts, so I'm not going to have to worry too much about how they look. These are the parts that are actually going to attach here. Oh, these are really specific. Hang on. if I watch any Ryu Soldier or excited for Kira Major. I'm always excited for the next Sentai because I hope they correct some of their errors that they've done. But like I have not been following Ryu Soldier. I haven't been following any Sentai in a long time. They just don't really appeal to me anymore. I don't think they do enough differently. Like, I'm just kind of tired of the format and the formula. It's like, there's such better things you could do. Like, Kamen Rider figured it out. They went with that 2-episode format for so long and then decided, you know what, let's flip the script here. Let's run anime style where it's one ongoing storyline forever until we finish up. And I think we got much higher quality stories out of it that way. Okay, this is really precise, so I'm hoping I'm looking at it the correct way and doing this right. It's a very subtle, like, little visual difference. Well, attached nice and smooth, so I think that was correct. And now we do the same thing to the other side. Crossover figure for Transformers like Ectotron. I don't know, transforming like DeLorean from Back to the Future might be cool. I mean, that's actually in the realm of possibility. Other things that come to mind, like transforming Batmobile. But I'm pretty sure Mattel's got the lock on DC for a long time. I mean, outside of like the art house figures that McFarlane's starting to do now. Clip, clip, clip. Yeah, good pair of nippers are, like, for what they are, is like silly expensive to me. I genuinely don't know what's better about them versus just like, like the sewing nippers I'm using now. Hang on. It's not fitting flush. Gotta clean it up a little bit better than that. Alright. That's better. Okay, so there's an extra part if I'm using the shouting face, but we're not going to use the shouting face. As said, we're going to keep it pretty stock, bog standard Mega Man X, and we're just going to keep to the essential stuff for the sake of this stream's brevity. And there we go. We have a head, fully detailed. So thanks for coming out. No, we'll keep going. Yeah, cleaner cuts is probably the biggest thing. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure they are much sharper. They are designed for plastic. What I'm using here is designed for, little basic sewing needs. Okay. Torso time. And oh boy, we've got a lot here. Okay. So I need L1, that's the core. and do L7, because that's easy. It's just a pair of balls. Stop chuckling. Actually, it looks like a peanut. Oh, still here. Alright. Okay, ball joint in place. Let's see, N. Okay, where's the N and what color is the N? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean now. Like, there's, like, part of his hand compared to his head. This guy, he's got, like, hands like a Disney character. N. N. Hang on, now I'm lost here. The blues are A, B, and C. Know that. I'm trying to find the N. There. Oh, jeez. The N is just 4 little parts. And one of them's designed to go together. Okay, so let's start building the inside of X. So N4. Megaman X the musical. This is a very gentle musical. Vial out of Brunt. Okay, that's actually a cool custom idea. Of course, you mix Transformers and you mix Transformers and Mega Man, you're always gonna get my attention no matter what. So I guess that's no shock. Tired of all the Evangelion crossovers. Yeah, tell it to me as someone who's not big on Evangelion in the first place. I would go so far as to say, I don't like Evangelion. I think it's one of those shows where everyone finds these super deep meanings to it and all the, very introspective things, and I don't know, maybe I just don't get it. Because it just looks like unbridled insanity to me. It's like I can remember being at a party, one of the few parties I've ever been to, and they were putting Evangelion on and talking like it was the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, no, I've heard about the show. It's just a head trip. It's a head trip where, like, even the writer didn't seem to really know where he was going with it. I don't know how firm these parts are supposed to connect. They got little indents, like it's supposed to fit a little bit. There we go. They pop into place. It looks nuts and I love it. Yeah, but Evangelion maintains its popularity, man. It's got so many, like, I have seen just like a ridiculous amount of like homages and crossovers, and like, here's this character in purple and neon green. There was a new one announced recently where I thought, where like, it wasn't the Optimus. This was like, I can remember seeing this in like the last couple weeks maybe, where there was like some new Evangelion crossover toy coming out, and I looked at it and go, it actually looks a lot better in the purple and green. Oh, it's Takara's, like, it's not Takara's train line. It's not the line of trains, but it's a model kit based on that train line. Excuse me. Like, there's a model kit coming out that's based on that, like, based on like one of the main trains from that show, and they're doing it in the Ava colors, and it looks really, really good. It's like, if you would make the actual transforming one look like that, I would actually potentially be a buyer. Okay. Need L8. Does anyone see L8? No, never mind. I got it. Like, I gotta remember to plate this camera, the overhead one. It took me hours to figure out some setup to actually get it overhead and actually, like, lined up with the table and the mat. Because after all these years, one of the few pieces of equipment I have not bought is some kind of boom arm, even though I have needed one several times. Oh, I'm a bad YouTuber. Let's see. L6 as well. Snip, snip, snip. I love cutting out the internal parts because I don't have to clean them. These I'll have to clean, though. So I need 1 and 2. I'll go ahead and get 1 out so we can not have some floating parts. God, I don't know if the webcam is just conveying it, but oh man, it's just like on that light blue, just like the shine and shimmer shows so well. Yeah, hype can really kill my mood. Like, hype can really kill my mood for stuff. It's like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing, you have to see it. No. You've turned me off because now I'm not organically interested in it. As part of me that just wants... It's like, if I watch it, will you shut up? Like, Cowboy Bebop had the opposite effect on me. It's like, when I first watched it, I'm like, oh wow, this is so good. And then Adult Swim reran it over and over and over so many times. It's like, oh god, I'm so sick of this show now. It's like, yes, it's a good show. Once, maybe twice. But oh my god, like, it's like I just saw it so many times. It's like I just couldn't stand it anymore. It's like I can't watch like, to this day I'm not I love that show when I saw it. I have no interest in ever watching it again. And there's some animes that are like actually like that. Like Death Note's a really good example. Death Note is a fantastic show to watch once, And then once you know the cat and mouse game between light and L, it's just, no. It's not appealing anymore. Doesn't work anymore. The fridge episode. The episode I remember the most is like, I think it's like, it's one of those like mushroom ramba. One of those. I can't remember. It's the one where they're starving and they're all going nuts. There's this little thing crawling around the ship. It's like a weird ending because they didn't solve anything. They were still starving to death at the end of the show, and it was only Ed that ate anything because she ate the thing that was crawling around. Might trim that one a little bit too deep, but that's okay. And we have a belly. Yeah, where everyone gets high. That episode. It's like you could set that episode aside from the rest of the series. It wouldn't do anything. It's like a totally like almost filler episode, but it's just lunacy. Okay, Fies, you tried to watch Death Note and rewatch Death Note and got bored. Yeah, it's like once like the cat and mouse game is fascinating, but once you know the tricks, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. I have the same problem with like the Phoenix Wright games. It's like, again, once you know all the twists and turns, it's done. I love Phoenix Wright games. I cannot replay them. Okay, so we're looking for the chest parts now. Oh, hang on. Hold it. L5, we need this little column first. And I gotta make sure this one's lined up correctly because this one's a very specific. Okay. Once that's slant, facing this way. And come on. Ah! It's okay. Just hit my feet. But hey, look, it's actually assembled now, so that's a miracle. And now, because this is all like, here's what's supposed to look from the side. Don't screw it up. So, okay, the peanut has to go inside his belly. Of course, that's where a lot of peanuts go. An anime I like that no one ever talked about. Like, I felt like that about Slayers for the longest time. Because it was just this sword and sorcery anime that never really hit it. Never went to Toonami, never went to Fox Kids. I found out it was supposed to go to Fox Kids. Cartoon Network and Fox actually had a thing where, like, they knew Slayers was a popular series, so everyone went after it. And then they got to episode 2. Episode 2's whole running gag, it's literally an entire episode. Maybe not. Okay, it's not episode 2, it's episode 3. But the episode 3 of Slayers is basically one big joke about Lena Inverse's time of the month. Yeah, it's a period joke. And so they got to that episode and I'm like, we can't air this, never mind. no one touch it. And like that early in the series, it was a plot centric episode. Like they had to do it. They had to have that. They had to do that one. Anime like that no one ever talked about. See, I used to watch a ton of anime because Danielle collected anime the way I collected toys, and it's all blurred together in my head. I know I saw a lot of good ones. I saw a lot of good ones, you know, but offhand, it's just like over my head. Like I would need to write down a whole list. Oh, I don't think you could make the same mistake with Panty and Stocking. I think you know exactly what you're in for as soon as you look into that series, even for a minute. I love Panty and Stocking, by the way. Like I just love the attitude, just going as far as they possibly could. It's just absolute absurdity and insanity. Loved it. And yes, there was a very dirty Transformers spoof in one episode. Actually, a whole episode was dedicated to that. Now that I think about it. Oh, it's been a long time since I saw that. I saw the original. I will say this. I saw the original in subtitle, and it's one of those series where I actually need to see subtitled. I can't do dubbed, because some of my favorite jokes are when they just randomly burst out into English profanity. They go just like from straight Japanese to just like word I'm not saying on the stream, but it's in full English. That particular word. And that has so much more humor and emphasis to it that I loved it. Okay, Madoka Magica is definitely one where you could, yeah, you get sick, you get like 5 episodes in and go, we made a mistake. Oh, we shouldn't have done this. Of course, that was the point of it. The point of the anime was to make you go, oh, well, this is just a normal kind of magical girl show. Oh my god. Oh my god, her head's gone. But I love that. I love when you go out of the box and like just like really push the boundaries of what a genre can be like that. No, that's fun, you know, because anything that expands the media, especially things that are just known for tropes and just bog standard just patterns, I guess. Yeah. Okay, that looks nice. So we've got just has to connect this way. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna let's actually make sure this works. So I'm gonna put these little chest panels on first, and then we're gonna connect it together. We don't have to worry about how much force I'm applying. I'm so happy when model kits do things like this, because I know like an older Mega Man X model kit would probably just sticker on that chest detail, but now it's got like, aside from like I don't have to deal with stickers, it's nice, you know, it has a little bit of dimension to it, which looks really good. Okay, I think that's connected firmly enough. I need to get the back on next, so we can really shore them up. Nick. Everyone still with me? Did anything blow up? Okay, sorry about that. As I said, I'm prone to get interrupted in this house, so things happen once in a while. Fortunately, nothing I have to run up for, so we can continue. Zero. Well, Zero has a bunch of logos on him, so I could understand him being a little bit more sticker dependent. I think that's one reason I love the Dragon Ball Z model kits so much that they make, because like everything on there, like the faces on those are like, I call the faces on those kits plastic lasagna, because it's layer upon layer upon layer of colored parts instead of things that could very easily have been stickers. The tribute episodes for Zio. I will admit there's a few that I don't have much connection to because I didn't see the series. Like, I didn't see Hibiki, but I know the character. I know why they picked the character they picked. Because his actor was available and likes to come back to do Kamen Rider. But also, one sprue done. Away it goes. But I understand that that character that they picked for the Hibiki arc, it was out of necessity. But I also know the character is one of the most hated by fans. Because he basically usurped the character that had been there since episode 1. And was really supposed to take off and didn't, because they made a last minute switch. Sucks when they do that. The ones that I could attach to, like, I know enough about, like, Blade. Blade's another one I actually need to sit down and watch all the way through, but I know Blades, I like, you know, spoiler alert for Zio, but, like, I really do like how they kind of reverted Blade and gave the story a happy ending. I think that was actually a really cool thing for the writers to do. You know, not only for the characters themselves, but just for fans. You know, just for the people who like really loved Blade. And you know, on the same page, I loved the Agito episodes. Oh yeah, Kagami becoming Kabuto. Again, that's out of necessity. Like, the original actor turned down a reappearance because he doesn't want to act at all anymore for anything. So, yeah, that was necessity, but it was also nice that, yes, it completed Kagami's whole character arc that he went through in that series. You know, after being snubbed by the Zector in episode 1, it comes back and finally acknowledges him. So, yes, there's some things they did that were exceptionally cool. They didn't really, like, have any story continuation for the Agito episodes. It was more or less just the director loves Agito, so he made it a perfect Agito episode, right down to using the insert music during the final fight, which was so epic. Come on. There we go. The funniest of the tribute? Oh, the funnest. Okay. At least one they had to do, because Zio had a Trinity form. Agito had a Trinity form. We got to see the Trinities together. The double Trinity. Favorite movie or extra Kamen Rider design? Like, the movies have some really cool designs and characters in them. Like Eternal. Eternal was awesome. And that, yeah, Zio actually is like one of those shows, like, reminded me, oh yeah, he was super cool. Okay, this is going to go out of frame because I really need to... squeeze the parts down a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot going on inside this one to actually get all the parts together. There we go. Yeah, being disappointed when Shotaro and Philip weren't returning for the double arc. There was no double arc. They saved the double stuff for the movie. And they tried to get Philip back. They tried really hard to get Philip back. Didn't line up with his schedule. Like, they wanted to get Denno's actor back and Philip back for the movie. As kind of like a double surprise. And they only pulled off one. Frankly, they pulled off the better one, though. Seeing Ryotaro again was awesome. Because that was one, like, his star has gotten so huge, you don't expect him to come back. Like, it's the same with Gentaro. Like, I'm not a big Forza fan, but I love that when they did, I think it's Heisei Generations, it's Final or Forever, one of them. But he came back for that in like full outfit, like in person and everything. And like, I love that because his star is so huge in Japan right now, but he still came back to do a Kamen Rider movie. That's great. Like, I like when those Kamen Rider actors don't forget where they came from. You know, and still have that respect for the fans that made them famous in the first place. Ooh. Don't roll away, and certainly don't knock X's torso off at the same time. Completed parts. Yeah, Kuga's actor is the one that you'll never see. Like, Kuga just has this... He just, unfortunately, seems to have this disdain for where he came from. Which is really unfortunate to see. Like, he's another one where... They tried to get him back for the Zio movies, and like he just adamantly refused the script. Yeah, yeah. It was weird that he was possessed by Urataros for the appearance. I have a feeling that's because the way he just naturally looks these days just leans more towards that. At least I hope that's what it is, because like I would have loved to have seen him like actually. Oh, I knocked the tripod. I'm sorry. Need to see where my camera is now. But yeah, I would love to see him come back. And, like, actually, like, give me an on-air henshin. Like, give me, like, actual speaking role. But I assume it was done for some reason, because he's on set, he's there. There's no reason why, except for, you know, something that we may not necessarily know. Okay, L2. I'm making his pelvis now. Or his butt. People will say I'm making his butt. Yes, I'm making Megaman's butt. Yeah, if I ever go to Japan, I'm going to Kamen Rider Black's restaurant. I don't even like Japanese food. I will eat anything that man serves me. A6. Where's my A screws? Right here. I mean, speaking roles pay extra, so, but, like, he was there. Like, he was speaking. They just dubbed over him. Also, when you consider they were trying to get Philip back and couldn't get Philip back, think about that. That's a pretty hefty paycheck to get him back, because Philip's another one of those who just really took off in Japan after his stint in Tokusatsu. They couldn't get him back, and that would have been a hefty paycheck. So, like, there was room in the budget to actually get Ryotaro to speak and, like, have a full participation. It was still nice to see, because he was one of those where it's like, we're never going to get him back for anything. We got him back for a little bit. Masuda's Phillips. Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm so bad with the actors' names. I'm bad with names in general, and then you hand me Japanese names, and I'm like, ugh. Something about the Urotaro's costume being damaged. No, I think that's just hearsay. I think that was just fans trying to come up with a reason why his actor didn't speak personally on camera. Because because the Urotaro's costume came back pretty easily, pretty quickly. I mean, they tried to get Kuga back. They honestly tried to get Kuga back for the movie. He wanted no part of it. I mean, yeah, like, it's weird that we have, like, you know, the original. You know, I would say get the Cougar from Decade, except, like, they are very big right now on, like, what happened in Decade is, like, alternate reality, alternate worlds, and now we're dealing with all the real Kamen Rider worlds. Oh, hang on. That's why it's not fitting together as well as it looked. I missed a piece. Yeah, okay. Hang on. Yeah, like, it really depends. Like, the suit's longevity really depends on how they use it. Like, the Gill suit was damaged severely during Agito's filming because they dunked Gills in water a lot. So the suit got really heavily damaged that way. Come on. Some of the parts are being really stubborn on this kit. Just trying to get it to fit flush. It just doesn't quite want to go. Yeah, Blade's costume is the weirdest thing. Because, like, the helmet on it is still, like, yellowed. So it's either borrowed from Jack form and the new silver paint on it faded, or it's just been in the sun too long or something, and they haven't bothered painting it again. It's like, just throw some silver on it. Make it work. This is not fitting together the way I need it to. It's the gap's wide enough that it's bugging me. Well, I will fix it in post. I'm disappointed that Narataki didn't appear. Not really. Narataki's fun, but they never had any idea what Narataki was supposed to be. So having him appear just feels like, oh, I don't know, kind of a waste of time at this point. It's like, if you're going to explain him, then go ahead. Put him in. But if you're just there to throw Honore Dikedos out, excited for Zero and ZX collection. Actually, I am. The Zero games, not as much, but like the ZX games, I think are extremely underrated. Like, it's really unfortunate that those games just did not get the shake that they deserved. Okay, what am I gonna need here? We are on to the arms. So I need B. And K. Where's K? K's. Look at all this. Get all of this. Yeah, like ZX had some really good gameplay, had some really good ideas. I loved being able to play. I like the idea of being able to play through as two different variations on the character. K1. How do I feel about Gridman getting a sequel? I mean, the world needs more Gridman. It always needs more Gridman. That was a disappointment. It was a disappointment in me that they left out Drago. You know, or I guess Dyna Dragon. Because I love that design. And I really wanted to see it updated. And then they didn't do it. So I am happy they're going to give that one another try. Admittedly, though, I will admit I've not seen... Gridman's one of those series that came out at a really rough time for me, so I didn't get to see much of it. I had to skim through. Also, it's a really surreal series when you realize, with going in with the knowledge that all the characters are based on Shattered Glass Transformers. And the main character is Cliff Jumper. It's bizarre to me that, like, that's gonna be the legacy of Fun Pub. Like, a lot of really... Like, one really solid idea that everyone milked and ended up like, proliferating the Gridman reboot. And... this one first. And a whole bunch of repaints that no one really cared about. Cliffjumper in general has just been... Cliffjumper in general as a character is just really underwhelmed. It's like Bumblebee took off. Bumblebee was super popular, and they're too similar to each other to coexist, so we're just gonna make Bumblebee toys, and then we'll repaint him red if we feel like it. So I was happy that in Earthrise, Cliffjumper... Oh. God, there's so much to trim on these. Maybe my nippers are going dull. Like, there's so much, you know, just, like, unnecessary repaints of Bumblebee. Just because they didn't want to make a new Cliffjumper mold. And then we get into Earthrise, where... Oh, come on. We get into Earthrise, where we finally get a brand new Cliffjumper, and it part forms. I keep looking over here at the chat, and then, like, oh, right. This is really weird, having to keep my mind on two different cameras. Transformers Animated. Fantastic show. I know the art style put off a lot of people, but honestly, really good story. Really, really good characters. Had the best human companion character. You know, because Sari was always a fun character. I'm really upset that that did not get the continuation it needed. Like, we were one season short of getting some really cool things. Like, Hotshot was going to get a toy that actually, for once, looked great right out of the box. We were going to get a triple changer Megatron that looked super cool. Like, I'm so upset that toy never got made because it's like one of the cleanest triple changers I've ever seen. We were going to get Devastator. We were going to get a lot of things. Animated got canceled because Cartoon Network didn't really like Transformers at the time, so they lumped it into the death spots of like 6 in the morning. There was also the toy line, which was not doing well because all the retailers wanted movie toys. They didn't want animated, they didn't want the cartoon-based stuff, they wanted the movie toys. And only the movie toys. Yeah, there was going to be a Power Master Optimus, too. I mean, we kind of got that. That armor came out in Japan, but, like, not the full that we were supposed to get. Yeah, they like Sonic Boom because Sonic Boom was probably a lot cheaper. Yeah, we missed a full fire truck version of Optimus, too. Alright. That's a shoulder assembly. Need the arms next. Not that one, though. Okay. Oh, hang on. Wait a tick. It's one of those. It's one of those. Hey, wait. You know how... You know that thing you just built? Build it again. This is one reason why... This is one reason why model kit... Like, I stopped buying Legos that turn into mechs. Because I was so... Because it felt so repetitive. Like, arm and arm built the same way. Leg and leg built the same way. Like, I do kind of get bored. Like, one reason why I kind of put off model kits is, like, I have to be in the mood to build both arms and both legs, even though it's going to feel very repetitive. Yeah, I've seen Lego Voltron in person. It looks cool. Like, Voltron is not something I would want in Lego, though. Like, I would want, like, the full ability to, like, combine it, separate it, and all that without having to swap around bricks or without having to worry about the stability of the bricks. You know, like, I feel like the same way Transformers shouldn't do that, I don't think Voltron should do that. Like, the Super Mini-Pla Voltron is a fickle beast. I gotta warn you about that. Because the Super Mini-Pla has so much part forming. Like, an absolute ridiculous amount. Like, I have not bothered putting them back into their individual lions since I built it. Like, once it's all together, it's beautiful. You swap on all the extra parts to make it anime accurate and nice and smooth looking, and it's great. And then you just get this bag of lion legs. And nobody needs a bag of lion legs. I don't know why you would. Why would you need a bag of lion legs? Sick freak. Not that I'm judging anyone who wants a bag of lion legs. Build the arms and legs simultaneously? Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're doing now, because it went ahead and said, okay, you just built a shoulder assembly. Now build a shoulder assembly. Like, sometimes if I'm aware that a model kit's going to do that, I will skip ahead and I'll build an arm and a leg first. And then I will build the head and the torso and all that and all the rest of the body. And then, like, I'll save the other leg and arm for last. The parts are so small and it's so slick because of the finish on this. Yeah, the Astro Megazord's fantastic. The Super Mini-Pla, that is. I still need to put together the Galaxy Delta. The Delta Megazord. So in my head, part of me is saying, like, maybe we'll make that into one of these model kit streams if I continue to do this. We're actually maintaining mid-20s in the view count. That's not bad, considering I didn't notify my YouTube channel for it. Alright. Okay. We have 2 shoulders. Yeah, it's going to make me do all of this simultaneously, so times 2 times 2. So next up I need K. Every kiss begins with K. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so K2. Yeah, I need to build both so I can actually build the Astro Delta Megazord. Because for my money, that's like one of the best Megazord combinations of them all. It looks so good. Let's see, 3 and 4. Clipping, 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 clipping. It's funny when you realize that model kits are just a scam so that toy creators don't have to pay for labor. I mean, I don't know how funny that actually is, but... Super Mini Pla Maji King. I don't know, they seem to be going for like older ones right now. Yeah, the other one I got for Christmas I'm staring at right now is the Super Mini Pla King Baracchio Titanus. I thought about doing that one as a stream, but there's something a little bit more personable about that one to me. So I kind of want to just sit and do it in my own leisure. No, I saw that they were building out and like planning out the molding process for Unicron, what parts go where. Like, I kind of regret not ordering it, but at the same time, like, I have so much I would rather spend that much money on. Like, $575 for one toy. One toy. Like, I'm one of those where it's like, you know what, I've got the Armada Unicron still. If I really want something a little bit more accurate, I can get the Generations remold. And that's fine. That's enough for me. I don't need to upgrade. I don't need to spend $575 on an upgrade. Okay, what am I building here? I believe we're making an elbow joint. I'm going to assume. Because it feels elbowy. Does it feel elbowy to anybody else? Just me? They updated... Well, I never assumed that Galvatron or... that Galvatron and Hot Rod that they showed during the Kickstarter, that was never going to be what they released. Like, they're both the Titans Return versions of those characters. So what they did was they quick 3D printed the CAD model and then just took photos of it and said, we're throwing these in too. Because it was a really cheap and simple and small thing they could do to up the ante and sweeten the pot and get the news sites talking about Unicron some more without really adding to the budget. So like that was literally just like, you could tell that was kind of like a last minute decision. Okay. Set that aside and we got to build another one. Is it on the same sprue or do we have a completely different sprue for this? Yep. Different sprue. The power of the Prime Evolution gimmick was fantastic. Like, I love the idea of the younger character growing into the older character in the toy form. Like, okay, like, structurally, that Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime, had problems as I kicked my tripod again and get everything out of frame. That had issues, but, like, it's a perfect design for him. I'm trying to correct this a little bit. It's hard for me to tell because now I have to look at the Twitch feed and see if I've actually corrected anything. I don't think I have. But yeah, like I feel like there's a lot of characters they could have used that evolution gimmick for. I felt like it was perfect for Star Saber. Like that felt like Star Saber's gimmick, didn't it? And then they didn't do it. Yep, we can get an Overlord, but we can't get Star Saber. I don't know why. You would think, because like for the Masterpiece vote, Star Saber was fan voted. So you would think that Takara would be the ones who are all like, can we please make another Star Saber? Because Star Saber has some big demand. Because he gets toys so rarely, but he was a major character in G1. If they did Commander Class Star Saber, I would be thrilled. Like, I feel like Commander Class is designed for a very few specific characters that fit that size. And all of them are white and red jets of some kind. Because the next rumored one is Skylynx, and that makes absolute sense, because the Combiner War Skylynx was not a good Skylynx. Aside from size, like it couldn't split or anything, so it was missing his original gimmick. Skylynx desperately needs that update. So that's, you know, and then like there's Star Saber. Like Star Saber is that size of a character. I don't know what you do with Victory Leo at that point. If you could actually get away with making like a leader class Victory Leo for him to combine with. I could see Takara doing that in a heartbeat, but I can't see Hasbro doing it. You know, Star Sabers are hard enough to sell in the US. Power Ranger Lightning Collection I've enjoyed so far. I don't have too many figures from it, but everything I've gotten so far has been pretty fun. Like, I forgot. So much to clean. I missed one of the mold flashes. But yeah, like I got Lord Zed because of course everyone got Lord Zed. Lord Zed was, you know, he's great aside from like his tubes are a little bit long, but I know why they're long. And I'm trying to cut the mold flash without having to disassemble the part, and I'm failing. Yeah, it's clean enough though. Pink. Oh, you don't talk about IDW Star Saber to me. You do not. That's character assassination of the highest order. Okay, so for this I need both of these. It looks like these are the wrists. Why didn't he come with a human head? That'd be creepy. If Lord Zed came with a human head, it'd probably be because he cut it off of somebody. Yeah, Capcom's been coming back. Like, Capcom failed me for a long time. And then they just been nailing it. Like, Resident Evil 6 came out, and it was just like a Michael Bay movie that lasted for 15 hours. And like, why? This is not even close to Resident Evil. And then RE7 comes out and goes completely survival horror again, and it's fantastic. You know, and then like there's Monster Hunter, which has always been solid, but Monster Hunter World, which is great. And I have Generations on the Switch, which was also a lot of fun. I like finally being able to play a Monster Hunter game where I can just sit back with a controller again, because that's when I got into it. It was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U, and that was what I liked. Like, I didn't like hunching over on my 3DS like pulling all the vertebrae in my back apart, trying to hunch down over this thing, fight monsters on this tiny little screen. Yeah, it's almost like if they make games that we actually want, that it's actually a good thing. It's like if you actually listen to your audience, then your audience reciprocates. Funny how that works. Yeah, Phoenix Wright's consistent. You know why Monster Hunter gets a pass from me? Because of all of Capcom's dirty DLC practices. Monster Hunter content updates are usually free. Like the one for Monster Hunter World cost money, but they added a lot on that one, so that one I'll give them. But for the most part, like there's a bunch of free updates that come with Monster Hunter, and that's fantastic. That makes it worth it. I still need to get that DLC because Brachydios is back. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, and then, yeah, they did it. They pulled around on Devil May Cry as well. Man, like it took us a long time before Capcom finally turned around. You know how many, like we lost like 3 Mega Man games in that process. We lost 4 now that I think about it, because there was a gritty reboot of X that of Mega Man X that somebody pitched, and that one didn't get much farther than a tech demo, which is grateful for, because that one looked awful. We lost Mega Man World, which would have been like Mario Maker for Mega Man, or Mega Man Universe, one or the other. And then there was the MMO out of Korea, and that never took off. That got canceled. We lost Mega Man Legends 3, which I'm never going to be not upset about. And we also lost a compilation of the Game Boy Mega Man games that they were going to restore into full color, which I would have loved. Yeah, there's some there's some deep pulls for you. Like Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy, actually very different Mega Man game and actually very fun. I mean, like the gameplay for that first person X gritty reboot thing looked fine. It just didn't look like Mega Man. Like if you want to make it its own franchise, that's fine, but don't tell me that's a Mega Man game when it clearly is not. Yeah, like I'd be so down for a Mega Man 5 remake. For those who are unaware, like Mega Man 5 didn't have boss masters. I can't remember what they were called offhand, but they were based on planets. So yeah, like Pluto, Mars, Jupiter. Not like Jupiter Man, Saturn Man, or anything like that. Just the planet name. And they were all very different styles of Robot Master. Very cool. Staroids, I think. I know because once upon a time I did 16-bit sprites for them. Just like 3 or 4 each, but like they looked really good. I don't even know where those are now, but like now I'm kind of curious, like if I have those like stored away in my oldest folders. That was a lifetime ago. I was but a wee lad trying to entertain the masses of the internet with funny sprite comics, which in hindsight probably weren't all that funny. Did I play a Mega Man ripoff on stream? Yeah, it was called Mighty. It was one called Mighty Number 9, and it was by Kenichi Inafune, the original creator of Mega Man, and it was supposed to be him like recreating his baby because no one was making Mega Man games, so he was going to make his own Mega Man game, even if he couldn't call it Mega Man. And oh my god, it was such a disappointment. Ew. Come on. Yeah, the Sonic comics for IDW are really good, even though they've only had one story arc so far, which I was kind of surprised. Like, and it's a dark story arc, man. It's like, storyline-wise, it's kind of brutal where they're at right now. I'm not quite sure how that gets resolved. But yeah, like I kind of wish IDW had picked up Mega Man as well. But I think I think at that time Capcom was just kind of consolidating their stuff back together, so I don't think they really wanted a Mega Man thing out there that they didn't have control of. And this is not cooperating with me. Hang on. Yeah, it was a super depressing issue, and it came out on Christmas, so, God, this is really not going. Favorite form in 0-1 so far? I don't know, do really like Shining Hopper. Yeah, I heard Bloodstain was really good. As far as a creator going and remaking his baby somewhere else, I heard Bloodstain came out great. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with this. Because for some reason, the pegs are just not really cooperating with me. It's getting... Alright, there we go. A little bit of shaving. All good now. Yeah, Assault Wolf's probably probably up there for me. Like, I feel like Assault Hopper is just like a little bit too far. Alright. We flip the page. There's really not a whole lot left here. We gotta do the hands and we gotta do the 2 legs. The hands, like everything else, I'm going to, I'm only gonna do the basic fists. I'll do the rest off stream. We're just trying to get the main Mega Man figure here together. Otherwise, we're gonna be here a long time doing just like little redundant stuff. Okay, I need C3, so. C3. Pop, pop, pop. Was the best or least bad of all the Plastic Addict toys? I mean, I do think I made that a little bit clear in Plastic Addict Wing Saber, the Energon Wing Saber, where, yeah, he looks great. You know, he's got his flaws, but the playability that he has, because he's essentially an armor kit with a robot mode. And when you account for that, like, he's trying. He tries his best. And he does look really, really good. It's probably the Plastic Addict toy I like the most. And the repaints that I made fun of just because the repaints were bad, you know, I kind of regret that. You know, Universe Silverbolt. He's real ugly, but he's still Beast Wars Silverbolt, so it's still a good toy in form. Titanium Menasor, extremely lazy repaint. I would argue that one is still not that's still not good. Oh, what are you doing to me? Okay. So there are very specific ways this has to interlock, and I need to make sure I get this right. Because it doesn't show very well on the diagram, like, at all. Like, it's telling me, like, front view, front view. It's not helping me. It looks like the indent goes to the back. Yeah, so that has clearance. Okay, that makes sense. Hang on. Oh, that's... Hang on. That went a little bit too tight. Hang on. A little too tight and in the wrong direction. It didn't break. It didn't break. But like, that's the elbow joint, that's the bicep, this is the shoulder assembly. And I should have curved it in a different direction, and it's just like super tight now. So let me skip ahead here. Okay, I think that's okay. Yeah, I just need to be a little bit more careful about what direction I put them in. They rotate and all that, but they're really tight. Am I ever going to re-upload TJ Talks? I probably could. Like, there's really nothing restricting me from posting those on YouTube. I don't know. They feel so dated because it's just me sitting there talking about, like, Forza and My Little Pony. Like, I don't really feel a need to re-upload them. I don't think there's that much that's lost by, you know, just kind of leaving them there. TJTV is not getting re-uploaded. I've got it up on Dailymotion. Most of them are linked on TJOmega.net. Unfortunately, yeah, you think YouTube's paranoid about, you know, kid-based stuff right now? Oh boy. TJTV would never fly. You know, aside from talking about cartoons, I swear a lot, and we're in this little weird phase where you can't be too adult and you can't be too kid-friendly. So, have fun with that. But yeah, it's the copyrighted material. Like, even though it's all within fair use, like, the copyrighted material completely takes TJTV off of the YouTube spectrum. Whew. Okay, oh. I need polycaps. Yeah, the crossover for Shades for the Double and Decade movie. Toei just rampantly goes after stuff. So that's completely off limits. Same reason the top 10 WTF moments for Kamen Rider. I can't get that back online either because Toei goes after it every time. And rewatching it now, it's probably because that 2 times over in there I use like full unedited songs. Which admittedly is my screw up. And get all the separate fists out here. Trying to be really careful. I don't want to scrape up his fingers or anything. Yeah, literally about to ask. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about that video because a lot of people got into Kamen Rider because of it. Because like it's the WTF aspect that draws people in and entertains people, but I'm also educating people about how Kamen Rider works while I do it. So a lot of people use it as like a really good introduction to what Kamen Rider is. Unfortunately, That doesn't fly too well as far as Toei is concerned. I've thought about re-editing it, but if it's the song, like it's probably the attack ride, or like the final attack ride Hibiki. That's probably the one that gets me caught all the time, and I can't remove that because even if I chop it down, you miss the point. Like it completely loses its effect. Top WTF moments in Kamen Rider since that? Well, for the same reason that Shin's brutality got on the list, probably all of Amazon's. The cannibalism parts, especially, really disturbing. Yeah, like if there was a completely legal way of subscribing to a Kamen Rider stream service, yeah, I would absolutely do that. Because like the fact that Kamen Rider is fan subbed only does kind of dissuade me from like fully recommending like this is where you go get it. This is what go and support. Like no, it's a gray area, and it's not a comfortable gray area. Oh, hang on. Taiga in the shower with a naked woman. What? What did I miss in Ryuki? No, I don't know the scene you're talking about. For better or worse. Yeah, X8's Christmas episode was rough. Okay. So, saving the other hands for later, but... Let's see, we need the shoulders. We need the shoulder armor. This is covered in dog hair. Nice thing about owning a German Shepherd. You can always count on hair where you least expect it. Oh, you've got a German Shepherd puppy. Oh, that's gonna be... They are high energy and very strong dogs, so it's gonna be fun 2 years. Like, my mom was obsessed with Shepherds. Like, that's the only dog breed she would ever get. I begged her many times, like, you can't handle a Shepherd anymore. Stop that. And nope. Some people are like that. Some people have their brand of beer, some people have their brand of soda. My mom had a brand of dog. I'm putting it in past tense. She's still alive. Has a tasting dog. This edge doesn't want to smooth down very well. Hang on. He turned a tree stump into sawdust. Okay. Buy metal furniture. Parrots are still fine. I've never had a bird as a pet. Had mostly dogs. Had a cat once. Had fish. Had turtles. I don't really count fish as pets. I count them as decoration you have to feed. Like kind of in the same way as your houseplant. Because you have just as much luck training a house, training a house plant to fetch as you would a fish. So, like, how does it count as a pet? All right. All right. So left arm first. Okay. Hang on. I'm an idiot. I put it on backwards. Worst Sentai and worst Rider series. I don't know. Like, it gets really subjective. Like, for overall worst Rider series I've seen, probably Ghost. Like, aside from just, like, the characters really weren't all that appealing, aside from, like, Alan, they completely forgot about Ghost's, like, special abilities. They completely forgot that he was dead, like, a third of the way into the show. Halfway through the show, the icons went from the most important things to absolutely worthless, and Spectre, 2/3 into the show, ran out of things to do. So all in all, kind of a disaster. Okay, this is the one I need. Line up the elbow with the groove. And we have a limb. There's a very big hand on that limb. I'm looking at my I'm looking at Figuarts decade. I'm looking at Figuarts or D-Arts Mega Man X right now, and this is so much bigger. Boy's got some mitts. Yeah, Ninja wasn't great. Of course, like there's a lot of Sentai I have not liked lately. I just cannot get into them. Um, favorite Transformer I got recently? Got a lot for Christmas that I really liked. We got Omega Supreme behind me, who's really cool. For ones that are like the most recent, I did get the new Cyberverse Deluxes, like the actual transforming Cyberverse toys. Those are really nice. They're simplified in the ways that I kind of expected, but you know, they kind of go back to like ball joint engineering and all that. But they work really well. They transform nice. Actually, I got Studio Series Megatron, the 2007 one, and that one was surprisingly nice. Like, I already knew that I was probably going to like it, just because it did a lot of things that I thought movie Megatron toys should have done from the beginning. You know, like functionally work, that kind of thing. And like, yeah, he was actually really, really nice. All right. There we go. Okay, so this side. And this one. Yeah, in photos, '07 Megatron does look pretty boxy. Like, I will tell you in person, like, it actually doesn't look nearly as bad. Like, he's just not very photogenic. I would think, like, even with the bit of box to him, I think he really makes up for it in just how well he works things. Like, the fact that he can pack away the wings better than the Masterpiece version can, because the Masterpiece version still has a wing pack. Excellent. Okay. Alright, we are on the last page of really complex building. We're maintaining views. We're maintaining viewers. It's starting to get a little bit late. My throat's starting to get a little bit harsh. I might be a little bit quieter for this segment, but we're so close. Like, I really don't want to, I really want to give it up right now unless I have to. Yeah, we already confirmed Toei Spider-Man for Into the Spider-Verse 2. I'm thrilled for that. It's funny because of all the Spider-Man variants, I keep seeing merchandise for him. Because I guess he just stands out that much. Alright, lots of little internal parts. Let's see. Is that right? Yeah, I guess that's right. Oh, this is a weird assembly here. Yeah, of all the weird Spider-Verse stuff I've seen, Spider's Man is probably the most lunatic idea of them all. It's a pack of spiders that thinks it's Peter Parker. I mean, if you're gonna flip the script, you might as well flip it all the way, right? Yeah, I hope we didn't see the part where Spider's Man ate a small child. That would be a little graphic for Marvel Comics. Pack of spiders in human form. Let's see, what was it? There was something like that too, in the other Marvel comics. I can't remember what it was called now. Oh, that's gonna bug me. But it's when they mutated Peter's powers to make him more powerful. It's like there was a villain there that was made of spiders. Okay, what part goes where? Oh, nope, that's the wrong. There we go. The 90s Spider-Man animated. That is always one of my favorites. And they kind of did the Spider-Verse thing first, didn't they? Because that was the finale. It's like, here's a whole bunch of Spider-Men all at once. My favorite Spider-Man in that, my favorite of those, was the guy who was just an actor playing Spider-Man. Yeah, I wish they'd undo One More Day too. Like, Mary Jane is with Peter again in the comic books, but they don't remember their past. Hey, Anubis. Welcome. Spectacular Spider-Man was fantastic. Like, I thought the animation style was fantastic for Spider-Man. I thought the animation was extremely good. Like, super fluid and really nice looking. And it's one of the few times, it's one of the few times where I actually preferred Gwen Stacy to Mary Jane, because they did Gwen and Peter so well in that show. Really, really upset that didn't survive. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man. I know some people really like it. I could not stand Ultimate Spider-Man. The style of humor was just not my thing. Oh, please, nothing ruins Deadpool, because Deadpool is Deadpool. It's like nothing will take away the fact that Deadpool is Deadpool. Even if occasionally there's a really, really awful depiction of him. If you want to talk Spider-Man cartoons, who remembers the CG Spider-Man cartoon that was on MTV? Because that one is one no one talks about. Because it was boring as hell. That was on the TJTV hit list. I've got the DVD set for it somewhere around here. You have VHS tapes of it. Ooh. That'll tell you how long that show was around for. I mean, the MTV Spider-Man took itself way too seriously. Like, they took a lot of Spider-Man out of Spider-Man by making him a little bit too serious. He wasn't as quippy or quick-witted. Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris was Spider-Man in that, and even he couldn't do anything about it. That's how you know it's bad. Get some really talented people and absolutely waste them. Thoughts on Woz as a character? I know a lot that liked him because of the Rejoice thing, because that's so like meme worthy. It's just, I don't know. There wasn't enough to him for me. Yeah, Gates, unfortunately, was just like... He was trying way too hard to stay edgy. He just felt very blank slate. Like, his whole character arc was... Like, his whole character persona was, I hate Zio. And then you put into a situation where, hey, look, Zio's not a bad guy, is he? He's not a bad guy. He's like, he's your friend. He's your friend. He's your friend. Right. We've been through this before. We've seen this story before. It wasn't great the first time. Like, at least when they did that, with in Zio, or not Zio, in Forze, with Kengo, at least then they figured it out. Like, go ahead and make them friends, and then put their friendship to the test throughout the series. Don't make that the goal. Make it like the halfway point. Yeah, and Sogo wasn't really all that interesting either. Like, Zio existed basically to shovel off the Heisei Riders one last time. Like, I wish I liked Woz more, because for like $90 you can go on Amazon and get Woz's belt, his action figure, all of his watches, and a holder with the Ghost Watch on top of it all. $90 for all of that. That's a lot of Kamen Rider toy for $90 on Amazon Prime. But I don't like Woz enough, so like I know I just end up eBaying it a week later. Yeah, Kenga warmed up to Gentaro. Like, that's his best friend by the end of the series. And that's what, like, the goal should be. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, yeah, you are my friend, after all. No, it should be like, you're the best friend I ever had. They just didn't have... It's like... Gates just did not have enough to him. And it didn't help that, like, he was directed to be such a stern, like, cold character in the first place. Because I've, like, if you watch the, like, the 0.5 net videos, like, he's an entertaining guy. Like, he can be really funny. And he can be really emotive. They never let him do that in the series, because he was so one note. Megaman X Dive? I haven't played it. Not entirely sure what it is. I saw a little bit about Dive. Not enough to remember exactly what it is. Yeah, Banjo and Sento were really good in build. Like, they played off of each other really well. They had a really good evolution of their relationship. Yeah, I kind of like this. I kind of like just like chill out, no real pressure to... Like if I'm playing like if I'm live streaming like a game, it's like I'm pressured to I'm pressured to do really well in the game or something. Man, there's so many like super tight parts on this. Like I'm building the ankle joint right now, and it's just really tight. But I got to get it together smoothly, or else the foot's going to be off center. Do I have any Rider Kick figures? I got Zeos, but that was before I realized how small they were, so I cut it off there. It's like, no. Normally I would get the gimmick figure lines, you know, even before the figure arts, just because I like the play pattern they usually include. Those are just way too small. Like, it's not like I don't want to stream video games. There's plenty of games I'd like to stream. I'd really like to actually figure out how to use my Elgato and, like, stream my consoles. Because we would be playing the hell out of some Dragon Quest right now. You know, if I could hook up my Switch, but I've never really been able to pin down exactly how I need to do that. Like, setting it up isn't the problem. Setting it up and still being able to see what you guys say and interact with the chat, that's the problem. I don't really have a... My room isn't really set up for something like that. What you've seen of Slayers, Gowry is just playing dumb. Oh no, Gowry's dumb. Gowry's dumb about a lot of things, but he's one of those like idiot savants who, when it comes to the right topic, is just brilliant. They really does. Rider Kick Grease has GPS, but it's a brand new toy. And Bandai, of all companies, should know better than that. Okay. I think that's right. Okay, we got knees, we got ankles. Okay, 5 and 6. Yeah, like we've got the legs to. Yeah, I'm at the. I got the ankles done. I got the knees done. I'm working on thighs right now. But yeah, we're actually getting really close here. I've still got to assemble the effect part and the other hands and all that, but you guys don't need to see that. that's just repetitive, and that's just accessory. Also, we've been going for over 2 hours already. If you remember my old streams, 2 hours is where I called it because my throat started giving way. As it is kind of sore now because I ran out of soda like an hour and a half ago. Right, I need polycaps A and A. Okay. How do you go together? You go together like this. Or you should go together like this. I think that's the first snap we got out of any of this. I am going to Metrocon this year, but Unicron is not going to be out until 2021. Hasbro already announced that, like, that's going to take a long time to produce. Like, I appreciate the thought, though. So, a chance to mess with it would be fun. Alright, so I need polycap C. Up, up. K10. We're almost done with this sprue. Do I have a... yeah, I saw Critical Role had its own official not Taldore, Wild Mount was getting its own expansion, like as an official D&D expansion book. That's really cool. Like, you imagine going from the game you played at, around your own coffee table or kitchen table at your home, and then someone actually at Wizards of the Coast wants to turn part of it into like a real Dungeons and Dragons expansion. Super cool. Okay. And that's a sprue done. J1, back to... And B5, okay. I don't know why I put these things down so much. I just pick them right back up because that's what model building is. Clipping. My most wanted masterpiece. It's a tough call. Like, I mean, my obvious would be like a Blitzwing. I would love a masterpiece Blitzwing. There's just certain notes that you can hit with me where it's like, yeah, that's the obvious answer. And I actually know that there are really good third-party Blitzwings. But I am stuck in my ways. I have come to accept some third-party now, but I would still rather have official product and support the franchise and brand. Also, masterpieces do tend to have some much more clever engineering than some third-party things that I've gotten. Right, A2. I'm guessing the one extra arm here is the optional buster. So I've got a little bit more part to build once I'm wrapped up here. No, there are no official masterpiece triple changers. Which I'm pretty sure they are intentionally avoiding because it is such a risky endeavor. Because getting two accurate vehicle modes and then an accurate robot mode is going to be exceptionally difficult. There's third parties that prove it's possible, but being able to do it at the level that Takara does it, that's a little bit different story. Okay, B3, B4. A little bit of a slight bubble imperfection. I just felt it with my finger and it felt weird. Sprue done. Alright, we need one of these. We need another polycap C. I love this particular polycap. You should be doing this with a toothpick or something. I don't have one handy. Yeah, polycaps like that kind of rely on the friction, of the part that they go onto for support. So I'm probably not going to be able to adjust that until the whole thing's assembled. All right, so That's a weird connection. Okay. I'm just like... Forgot to trim the leg armor. I'm trying to rush through it now. Because the later this goes, the more apt I am to get interrupted. I'd rather not have to do that. I'd rather not have to just like walk away for a few minutes. But I feel it coming. And we're so close. It's like it's past 11 a.m. here. 11 a.m.? God, that'd be a long model kit build. Yeah, it's past 11 p.m. here at Eastern Standard Time. People have work in the morning. Maybe you have school. I don't know. Like, I wanted to be streaming like an hour earlier, but this was a lot of things intermixed to make sure it all worked, aside from, because like there's a lot of stuff in this stream that I've never done before. I've never done the multicam setup. I've never done an overhead shot like this. This was interesting to jury rig. And I've never had music playing. So getting it all to run smoothly. Not the easiest thing. Apparently it went well enough, because there's still people here. Most wanted third-party transformer. That's tricky because there's so many. Like, of the ones I know of, I'm still waiting for that Galaxy Skycrow from Mastermind. Unfortunately, Galaxy Meteor apparently just did not do well at all, because there's just no market for Unicron Trilogy. None that makes the cost of full figure production worth it anyway. But like, I wanted that design in Skywarp colors for so long. So long. I was so looking forward to that actually happening, and now it doesn't look like it is happening. I was a what gnome? Make toys. Thank you. There we go. Is Make Toys in that much trouble? I'm follow third party, so like of course I know none of this. It's like third party in nature, like by the nature of third party, it just has a lot of problems to it. A lot of third parties just get eaten alive because they're all doing the same things. So they're splitting up a limited market share, trying to outdo each other, which is obviously not working because there's still so many coming up going, I can do this better, I can do a better Predaking, I can do a better Devastator, I can do better Dinobots. There's Solar Storm, crowd-funded. Sunstorm had multiple QC issues. Ugh. That's unfortunate to hear. Oh, what did Zeta do? There's got to be someone who's watching the video on demand, someone who popped out before I finished, or wanted to see how it went, or was just curious. And, like, I'm responding to the chat because we're talking third-party gossip now. Polycap C again. Still got one more to go after this for the last ankle. Oh. I remember there was a third-party Unicron announcement. Like, yeah, like... You don't try to ape attention from Hasbro when they're putting on, like, literally the biggest toy project they've ever done. Sprue done. Well, Supreme Starscream for Cybertron happened because they didn't have a Supreme class figure to release at the beginning of the Cybertron line. Like, they didn't want a repeat of Armada, where they made so many Unicrons that they had to release more of them in Energon packaging before they could even release the repaint in Energon packaging. And then they also had, like, Omega Supreme and his repaint in the same toy line, so they didn't want it to overlap again. So they wanted a brand new Supreme class figure to sell as soon as the toy line came out, and they went, well, Starscream always sells. Starscream's one of the most popular characters. Let's make it Supreme Starscream. And it ended up being a preview of what happened in the show. Now, I don't know if the toy was based on what they planned to happen in the show, or if the show followed the toy lines. That's one of those chicken and the egg scenarios. I like that Supreme Starscream. It's just too big for me to keep around when I'd rather have the Voyager class. Or, as I have now, I have the Make Toys. God, the second one always goes faster, doesn't it? Now that you know where everything goes, you don't have to pay too close attention to the instructions. me get that sprue out of here. It's got one piece left for the buster. And this sprue will be done too now. That's the buster, so that gets finished up later. See, when you tuned into this stream, did you really think you'd actually watch me clean Megaman's feet? It's just not a thing you think of every day. Favorite Seeker. Hoo-hoo. There's justification in my head for liking most of the Seekers. Like, Starscream's just classic. He's one of the classic archetype characters of all time. Skywarp's got the best color scheme. Ramjet, or Thrust, has the best mold. Ramjet I had as a kid. It was my only Seeker from childhood, so that stayed with me. And Thundercracker has the best character. When they actually use the character that was intended for him, which is someone who's like sympathetic toward Earth, because, you know, Decepticons shouldn't be, he believes Decepticons should be above, tormenting, helpless Earthlings. Like, what IDW did to Thundercracker legitimately made him my favorite Seeker. I was so upset when people voted Skywarp into the Hall of Fame this year, or last year, I should say, because Skywarp's never had any real character to him. He's a goon. Thundercracker, writers did things with Thundercracker that made him a really good character and really interesting. Like, when he was explaining his time on Earth and studying Earth culture after Skywarp left him for dead, like, it's something rather profound that Thundercracker, of all bots, figured out that, like, culture on Earth has changed so many times and is constantly evolving and changing, even though we live very short lives, whereas Transformers live millions of years, and yet their culture is exactly the same. In that sense, like, he viewed that humans do a better job of transforming than they do. And he came to really respect that about Earthlings. And that makes him very interesting. And somehow I got a little bit of scratch on the back of Megaman's leg here, and that really upsets me. It's probably some of the mold flash that rubbed against him while he was on there. Not a big deal. So yeah, like, there's parts of me that's like, I really like all of these Seekers. I will even throw in ones for Acid Storm, because green's my favorite color. I'll throw in for Sunstorm, because I think Sunstorm is a fascinating, like, mid-tier boss in Transformers that, only got used once. And they never really kind of picked up on him ever again. Okay, so I think the rest of the polycaps are for all the additional hands. Oh, come on. There we go. The snaps are just so satisfying on Model Kit. That's that snap that tells you these parts aren't coming apart anymore. Sunstorm wasn't a canonized animation error. Sunstorm was from the first episode of Transformers. He was just one of the generic grunts that was shooting flamethrowers at the Autobots driving by. They just ended up giving him a name. And they did that with all of them. You know, like, for the Rainmakers, Atz's Storm got his name because the way Bumblebee phrased the Rainmakers' attack during that episode they were in made it sound like he could have been referring to one of those Rainmakers, like, legitimately being called Acid Storm. And that's how we got that name. Alright. Ta-da! So, first I'll connect. I will finish off the torso. If this will actually connect. Okay, once it connected at an angle for some reason, one side's going in, the other side's not. There we go. Come on. Left arm on. Right arm. And we finish where we began. Just like that, guys. We have a super shiny Megaman X. And yeah, like seeing all the blue together, it's like beautiful. As I try to make sure he's actually in frame. See, now this would be kind of interesting to review because people could actually go back to the live stream and watch it, like the archive, and actually see it being built. Yeah, like he looks super good. And yeah, the joints are so tight, it's like kind of worrisome in my head. But this should loosen up over time. It should loosen up with a little bit of work, a little bit of use. But yeah, just like that. Yeah, not a bad build. Not a bad build. Everything went together for like a few tricks, but yeah, it went together pretty smoothly. So I got a few bits and pieces to do, busters and hands and all that, but I think that pretty much is going to do it for the night. I have a completed super shiny Mega Man X now, and a nice little proof of concept. Like, the viewers maintain the mid-20s most of the way through until it's almost midnight now, so of course it's not surprising that it dropped off. Considering I didn't really post about it, I didn't tell anyone on YouTube that I was actually going to be doing this. And this is literally thrown together. Like, I don't know if this is going to be the final placement for anything. But yeah, this actually worked pretty well, I think. So, I need something really ice cold for my throat. And I need to not talk for the rest of the night. But yeah, I don't know next time we're going to do this or what it's going to be. I've got the max armor kit, but I think that'd be a little bit repetitive. We might go with, like, I've got Gundam. I have figurized Kamen Riders, figurized Dragon Ball. I've got... Oh, what else do I have I need to do? I have Super Mini Pla that I need to do. I might put it up to vote. I might just figure out a pile of stuff that I really want to do next, and I'll just let people decide. You know, it might be like a Flame Toy model kit. I've got a few of them lying around. But thank you guys for hanging out. Like, this was nice. Just like a super chill, hang out with everybody kind of thing. Nice mellow music playing. Oh, it was fun. So thank you for tuning into this experiment. And I will let everyone get to bed now. So good night, everybody.